Hello everyone, how's everything? You guys doing good too? I'm doing good too. Let's get on today's video session. Here we go. Welcome back. Today is Nintendo 64 Mini. Let's do this first. Yeah.
The most important part of dance is music. So now let's listen to the music and identify the beats.
Whoa. Yeah. Come on, guys. Woo.
That was
Too soft. Woo. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Let's get funky, boys. Oh yeah. Woo. Come on. How are you guys doing today? Woo. Oh God, thanks anymore. All right. That was so cool. So, welcome back to my video session today. So, in today's session, we are going to be talking about Nintendo's future plans. Yeah, I did talk about that in my previous video. So, anyway, let's carry on with it. Today's topic is on about the Nintendo 64 Mini. Now, these mini consoles are becoming really popular. Yeah, I mean, we had from Nintendo previously, Nintendo NES was very popular. Then we had the Super Nintendo Mini. That was popular as well. Then we had Sega Mega Drive Mini, popular again. Then we had the Sega Game Gear Mini, popular again. Oh my gosh, I can't take this anymore. Then we had a SNK Neo Geo Mini. Wow! How many mini consoles is that? Wow, that's amazing. There's a bit more, but I'm not going to go through the other ones because I'm not really into the other ones. Now, all of these systems were all popular when they came back in the 1990s. But look at it, how quickly they dominated the scene, really fast. And I'm really surprised how quickly they became popular. Let's get something straight here. The reason is that in 1990, when these consoles came out, they were popular anyway. Yeah, these consoles were popular. And that's why these companies brought back the same consoles which were popular. Yeah? And they know if we release them again, they're going to be popular. But you know what? This time, what they've done? I think I don't need to tell you that. They made these consoles small. Yeah? They're called mini. Mini consoles, aren't they? They're small. And they're very nice. They're very little. Portable. You get like 2 controllers in some of these systems they gave. 2 controllers. You get all the wires and all that. You know, connected to televisions and the plug and all that to power it up on all that kind of stuff. At most, they put pre-installed games. Pre-installed games. I don't know how many were there in Nintendo NES, but in Super Nintendo, there were only 20 games. Now, originally when Super Nintendo came out, there's really 1 game. Or nothing with it. Or no games. But this Super Nintendo they released came in 20 games. Can you imagine a Super Nintendo with 20 games and selling on the market? So you go on the market, you look at the Super Nintendo. What do you just see? A system with no games or a game bundle with it. You know, like Super Mario All Stars, Mario Kart, and stuff like that. They did stuff like that. Now, Sega Mega Drive Mini became popular. Yeah. Now this system is using the design of Sega Mega Drive 1, where it's got a volume control on the left and the headphone jack. Now the problem with the headphone jack and the volume it's just a dummy. It doesn't work. So the original one is a bit better, but it doesn't matter anyway. But this system is really beautiful. It's small and it's very nice. Now the Sega Mega Drive Mini came with 42 games, pre-installed 42 games. Some people were complaining about the Sega Mega Drive Mini that it didn't come with Sonic 3. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. It didn't come with that, which is quite bad. Lots of people wanted that. You can't play Sonic 3 Knuckles, can you? That was missing. But what it was, this was pretty impressive because there's pre-installed 42 games. Wow, very nice. But if you think there's some missing games that you want some, you can use a flash drive and put the ROMs in there. Yeah. Even Sega released its own flash drive. Yeah. You could buy that. Get some loads of games on there. I think there's around about 800 games. But if I'm not wrong, originally, top of my head, there were 70 games on Sega Mega Drive. But what they've done in this, they want different regions, stuff like that. UK, US, Japanese, and also stuff like that. Maybe from different countries, That's why it went up to 800. Well, that's pretty good. It's a full package. I mean, each of these consoles, right? I think Nintendo NES and Super Nintendo didn't have a technology of flash drives. But Sega Mega Drive Mini uses flash drives. Now, if we use flash drives, we've got ability of photo, music, and videos that you could play on there. Not only that, emulation. You could do emulators on there. Now, let's go back to the Nintendo 64 Mini. Nintendo 64 Mini will come in various colors. Yeah. We still don't have a release date or a price on it, but we do know it's going to come out sometime. I don't know what year it's going to come out. I have no idea. Okay. Those are shouting, oh no, this guy doesn't know what he's on about. He's not telling the years when it's coming out and how much it is. Please don't shout at me because I really don't know all that information. But I'm here to give you some information on the machine, on the system. Now, the Nintendo 64 Mini, it's got the same design, but it's a bit smaller. Yeah. Whether this system will use cartridges, we have no idea. Because Nintendo is not confirming if there are any cartridge slot that we can buy cartridges that could put them in there. I did hear some information where, I think it's a pretty old information that was, where they were saying that the Nintendo 64 Mini will have a cartridge slot. Well, they did say that, but would they put that in the final product? That's the thing. Because if they put that in the final product, is there any advantage on that? Yeah. Because if we got a cartridge, flash drive, yeah, these are two things it needs. I don't know how many games are going to be in this machine though. Nintendo 64 Mini will come with quite a lot of games. 40, if not 40, maybe 50. Yeah, there are a lot of games on this system, yeah? There are a lot of games, pre-installed games. Nintendo games are legendary games, aren't they? So these are going to be really impressive. Imagine playing games like Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Lila Wars, GoldenEye, F-Zero X, Fighters Destiny 2, Super Smash Brothers. How many more games can I say? There's got a lot of games on there. Killer Instinct. There's quite a lot of games on this system, yeah. Yeah. Aero Gorge, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, Shadow of the Empire, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3D. It's a pretty lot of stuff on this system. A lot. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of pre-installed games in there. This system will have an advantage. You can put more ROMs on your flash drive. Yeah, onto your flash drive. Because if there's some games that you think they're not in there, because I think Nintendo 64 had quite a lot of games. Yeah. The a lot of stuff, yeah, on Nintendo 64 were quite impressive. Now, I wonder which games are gonna be in the pre-installed of the database, because it's not properly confirmed from Nintendo which games are really gonna be in there. They're just giving a few examples what can be. A lot of people are giving these kind of gaming lists on the internet. I really wouldn't bother with that. That's just their own preference, isn't it? We can't decide, right, what should be in the system. We can only do estimations what can be in there. Shall I give you my estimation? What can actually be in there? No, not for my preference. What probably Nintendo's thinking. Okay, let's check this out. It will have Super Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64, F-Zero X, maybe Fighter's Destiny, Wipeout 64, Mario Kart 64, Lala Wars, GoldenEye. It's a few examples for you. I can't remember every single game because I haven't played Nintendo 64 for ages. So it's mini. You have 4 control ports like the original machine. So how many control pads would they give? That's a question, isn't it? About 2, I think. About 2. If not 2, it can be 1. I think they'll give 2 pads. They're not going to give 4 controllers. I don't think they'll do that. It's going to be a crazy system. It's going to be very, very popular. I mean, every mini consoles that Nintendo's produced so far, Nintendo NES, Super Nintendo, they've been very popular. Even they didn't have flash drives. Remember one thing, Nintendo 64 hardware is pretty powerful. On the flash drive, you will be able to put emulators on there. You should be able to play Nintendo NES, Super Nintendo. It's already a Nintendo 64. Yeah, you probably have Nintendo 64 ROMs as well in there as well. From Sega, you might have Sega Game Gear, Sega Master System, Sega Mega Drive, Sega Mega Drive 32X, Sega Mega CD. Hopefully Sega Saturn. And you should be able to boot up Sega Dreamcast as well. Pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty cool. From Sony side, probably you get Sony PSP, maybe, and Sony PlayStation 1. I would say it wouldn't go higher than that. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, I would say. Atari Lynx. Maybe a bit of struggle about Atari Jaguar, probably. I doubt you can get Atari Jaguar. The Atari Lynx will be the best bet on there. SNK need you pocket. SNK need you pocket color. SNK need you AES. SNK need you CD. SNK need you CDs. They're both the same system. It's just a speed difference when they release. Yeah, you should be able to do all that kind of stuff. So it's going pretty good. Nintendo 64 minis. It's going pretty powerful. The flash drive, you should be able to play all these emulators, Nintendo 64 ROMs in there. You can add some more games in there. Now, if they put a cartridge slot in there, which I think they should, we can go out there and buy some cartridges for it. Yeah. So if any games is not pre-installed in there, we've got a chance to use cartridges and play it on this N64 Mini. I don't have high hopes that they will put a cartridge slot in there. I think it's only going to have a flash drive. It's going to cost too much money to make a cartridge slot in it. They probably wouldn't do that. But if they do that, that'd be great. This might sound even over the top. Nintendo 64 DD. Imagine having that. Right. I think Nintendo should think of this. Now, Nintendo is not going to put a 64 DD drive on there, would he? He's not going to do that. But what he can do, he can have some of the pre-installed games from the Nintendo 64 DD into the pre-installed N64 system. Why does Nintendo put Nintendo 64 and Nintendo 64 DD games in pre-installed? Put them together. That'd be crazy. And even on the flash drives, we should have N64 and N64 DD. Even the flash drives as ROMs. This will be really, really good. If you remember, Nintendo 64 DD, the DD stands for disk drive. But hey, wasn't there cartridges? Let's just bump some music before we get into this. Oh. Whoa, come on, guys. My voice is going on. Alright, guys, so there you go. Some rock and roll music for you guys there. Now, we're going to go back onto Nintendo 64 DD. Now, if we remember, looking at the system, which wasn't actually released anyway, there was some good games released on that. It looked pretty advanced. Now, they call this a disk drive. But if you look at it properly, it was cartridge. But inside the cartridge was a disc in there. Yeah, there's a disc inside the cartridge. It was a CD technology, yeah, but inside the cartridge. Now let's get this quite clear. We need to know what was this whole system about originally. Nintendo 64 was right at the top, and at the bottom there was extension for the Nintendo 64 DD. Now the shame thing is that we had that thing at the bottom where we need to put Nintendo 64 DD on there, but it was never released. Oh blimey, come on Nintendo. This is the first time Nintendo didn't release a system. First time. Never Nintendo has done that before. He didn't believe in it because of Nintendo 64's not becoming very successful. And he didn't have faith in Nintendo 64 DD. He thinks it's going to get even worse. So they didn't release it. So Nintendo 64 was at the top, and you could fit on the bottom the Nintendo 64 DD. There were two systems. Nintendo 64 at the top, and Nintendo 64 DD at the bottom. But how do you insert the Nintendo 64 DD cartridges? That's a question. Now the Nintendo 64 had a cartridge slot at the top. The Nintendo 64 DD, you know what it was? Front loading. Yeah, it's right at the front. You know, like a front loading system. There's like a line going across where you put the cartridge in. And if you look on the, I think it was on the right hand side, there's a white button, whatever color it was. You press it to eject it. There you go. So there you go. Very nice system there. It's very, very beautiful, and it was pretty. It looked very exotic anyway. So this is originally what Nintendo 64 was doing at that time. Really good. I do remember there was a game called Super Mario RPG. It looked pretty good. I mean, people who actually got their hands on that game, they pretty enjoyed it. But don't get me wrong, the Nintendo 64 DD was available. It was hard to find. Here, find it. Some companies and importers were selling the Nintendo 64 DD. Very low stock, man. And they were selling quite few games on that system. It went the same way as the Sega Mega Drive 32X. But the Sega Mega Drive 32X released more games. But the Nintendo 64 DD didn't release that many games. There were quite few. If I knew what the games were, I would have told you the list right now. But the only one I remember was Super Mario RPG. It looked really, really good, man. Even I looked at it the way it was. And a lot of people who've played it, they go, the actual graphics of Super Mario RPG on Nintendo 64 DD was better than Super Mario 64. I think the game might be better. I'm not sure about that. Because I've never played it. I can't tell you that, can I? If I haven't tried it. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things. So the N64 Flashdrive should have N64 and N64 DD. There was a bit of talk about Nintendo 64 Mini where they were saying that it's going to have Nintendo 64 DD games. Is that going to be actually true? Will Nintendo actually put them in there? Oh, please, please, Nintendo. Please put these games in there. If you got a chance, put every single game from the N64 DD in there, in the pre-installed. Put them in there. Every single one. There's not that many anyway. Just put every single one in there. So I think there's about 40 or 50 games that are going to be pre-installed. So put quite a lot from N64. But put every single game from the N64 DD. It's got a cool, man, system is. If they do that, it's going to be a good purchase, man. Because originally, when you even bought N64 Mini, they were about $349.99. Yeah. $349.99. I think that just was the console's price. Yeah. And Super Mario 64 was like $49.99, $59.99. So, very pricey stuff, man. And even when you look down the market of N64, what did you find? Just the N64 on its own. Because most majority of the time, it was just like N64 and nothing else with it. But they did bundle the N64 with Super Mario 64. They did do that. And the later times, there were more bundles on the system. But you wouldn't get 40, 50 games with it, would you? Well, imagine releasing 40 games on there. This is going to be really, really expensive. You're going to be dead if they don't release all these cartridges on there. It's going to be really, really expensive. You got to think, each game is $49.99, $59.99. How much can you afford to do that? They will never do that. Now the whole process is the N64 is going to have a lot of games. Maybe about 50. Yeah? Can be 50. If we look at N64 and N64 DD, if they combined it together and they give us 50 games, yeah, that's a really good bargain, man. Now, what kind of price tag can we expect? The minimum price can be $69.99. If not, £99.99. Something like that. It's going to be on them price tags. It can't be more than that. But it shouldn't be. It's going to be a really cool system. It is made by Nintendo, by the way. So, it's officially made by Nintendo, this system is. It's going to be really, really impressive. Technology-wise, every mini consoles they make is more powerful than the original consoles. Because these systems are better than the original systems. You know why? The original systems used cartridges. Even N64 used cartridges. It didn't do anything else. They never used flash drives. Now flash drives, even the N64. Okay, let's clear this. When N64 will use flash drives, you'll have photo, music and videos. You can do all that on it. Nintendo 64, emulators and Nintendo 64 games. And maybe Nintendo 64 DD games as well. Who knows if they would put that in there. I hope they do. The reason they make it more powerful, not because of the N64 games or something, because of the emulators. Because these machines have emulators on there. They got flash drive in there, haven't they? And the original machines don't have flash drive. They have no emulators on there. But these systems do. So that's why they will make these systems a bit more powerful. So you can run some good emulation programs on there. Yeah? Now do you understand why they do that? because it's not just you getting N64 out of it, you're going to get emulation out of it and photo music videos. It's really, really cool. I'm just bit concerned, even with a flash drive, if we'll get N64 DD games and even the pre-installed, if we'll get N64 and N64 DD games as well. And on top of that, we'll get a cartridge slot to add to our library to buy real cartridges for gaming. It's a big point that is really neat. If anybody knows that you got any information, what I'm telling you even above me, about if Nintendo 60 Mini, below the comments, please write below the comments if there is a cartridge slot to buy your N64 games. This would be pretty interesting. Nintendo NES pre-installed games only. Super Nintendo had a cartridge slot, but still was just pre-installed. But it would be better if they put cartridge slots on the N64 Mini. I would like that. Yeah. There's not much more to say about the N64 Mini because they're not leaking much information on it, are they? We've seen the design. The design is going to be the same as the original one, but it's going to be smaller. Maybe it's going to be curvy or something like that. Yeah. 4 control ports are still there. The back part's going to have all the ports we originally had. Yeah. This one's got a flash drive, photo, music, videos, emulators, and 64 games, and maybe N64 DD. And top of that, there's a cartridge slot. I hope it's not a dummy. I hope they really put a real cartridge slot in there. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed my video session today, and it's been quite informative to you guys today, and you enjoyed everything I would be saying about the N64 Mini. I'm looking forward to this system because we only know the design of it and all the features it's gonna have. We don't know the release date and the price. The most thing is important is the release date and the price. Yeah, we still don't know that. I think Nintendo needs to officially release the release date and the price on it. People are waiting for it. Don't keep them waiting too long. Otherwise, they probably won't buy it. Yeah, I think N64 will stop loads of systems. Yeah, it will stop loads of systems. It probably put a stoppage to the Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. Whether it will do anything to Nintendo Switch, who knows? We'll have to just see about that. And on top of that, we've got SNK releasing their console called the SNK Neo 3. That's going to be a big impact on the gaming market. Yeah. So there you have it. Give it a likes, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.